How we doing, everybody? It is May 4th. It is a Saturday. We have a four-pack. It is Kentucky Derby Day also, but it's still Major League Baseball here at Light It Up. So just a quick tip, if you are looking to do some Kentucky Derby action, check out a few different guys that I know will help you out a lot. First of all, Pub Sports Radio is probably doing their live Kentucky Derby all day, and that leads me into, first of all, Jimmy the Bag. To me, no one knows horses like Jimmy the Bag, and also Big Ragu 62, one of our Who-Bangin brothers. Great horse guys. They follow it. They keep at it. Same with Razor Sharp Picks, another guy who, if you're looking for some action and some knowledge about the horses today and some breakdowns, check them out. I'm sure they've even started their live broadcast already, so it's something to look at. But first, listen to my four-pack breakdown, and maybe you get a little bit of a little early Major League Baseball a game in before I do have one of the earlier games before the Kentucky Derby race goes off. You have a little extra money maybe in your pocket. Hopefully I can do that for you. Let's start off. I have a four-pack, two picks on this first game, and then two other picks. First game up, Chicago White Sox against the Cardinals. I took the first of all, the Cardinals are a big favorite. I see it minus 174 right now. Against the White Sox, who surprised us a little bit with that sweep against Tampa. They have they've won a couple games in surprising fashion, hitting some balls in surprising fashion. But I'm betting against today that that's not going to be the case, especially with this Cards lineup who's struggling. So conversely, I did take the total. First five under 4.5 minus 118, and then I took the full game under 8.5 minus 115. I just believe that this is going to be that type of game. Hopefully, it'll be hard to at least lose both, but you never know in Major League Baseball in this roller coaster game that we love. Let's start off with Eric Fetty. I think he's probably the ace of this Chicago White Sox starting rotation. I know he wasn't supposed to be, but he's pitching great. I mean, and when you're pitching for a struggling team, it's so hard to keep your head into that. But Fetty's been well. His last 14 and a third innings, 20 Ks. His last start against Tampa, 8 and a third innings, 2 earned. We had those 9 Ks in that game. He 2-0. His last 2 starts, 2.60 ERA. He has not walked a batter in those 2. And, he's been pitching great, and I think it continues against the Chicago White Sox today. Lance Lynn on the other side Lance Lynn on the other side against the pitching for the Cardinals, up and down. Lance Lynn, he's a veteran, so, he's a guy that I always think with these veterans that if they sometimes they start out very slow and you got to watch, but Lynn has pitched okay. Deep into the year might be a different story, but listen, he's pitched well. I think that he can hold the Chicago White Sox down to a few runs, and hopefully we could cash both these unders. I just want to take a quick look about Lance Lynn. His last 6 average, he's only, he's not pitching deep into games, which I don't like. He did go deep against Oakland, 21 outs, but averaging 15 outs over his last 6. But he's only averaging 2.17 walks, but only on the other side throwing 4.83 strikeouts. So he's been pitching to contact, but he hasn't been really letting up a lot of. Well, he's been letting up hits, 5 hits average over the last 6, but not earned runs. Only a 1.5 earned run average over the last 6. So I think let's see if he can hold down the White Sox. Let's see if Fetty can hold down the struggling Cardinals lineup, another team that has not been hitting, and that's why I took the double unders in this game. I took them separately. I didn't do it like a double result, but I took 2 separate bets, under 4.5 and under 8.5. Next game up, Marlins against the Oakland. I took Oakland minus 132. Paul Blackburn has at least he's back at home again, where he has a 1.42 ERA. He does have some he had some he had to pitch against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. He had to pitch against Baltimore, in Camden Yards. So, which he had a couple tough outings there. But again, against two teams that do hit the righties a little bit, even though the Yankees have been not hitting too much, too many people, but Oakland does. Oakland really dominates against lefties, but they're hitting righties, they're hitting lefties. Baltimore, they're hitting righties, they're hitting lefties. So, for Blackburn to come now home and get the Marlins, maybe a little bit more relief for him. Trevor Rogers, 0-4, over 4 ERA. Oakland versus those lefty pitchers, number 2 in isolated power. To me, it all points down to Oakland. I took him at minus 132. I don't think I take him that high in 2 years. Usually, if I took Oakland, the rare times I do take him, it's been at a plus price. So this is a new territory for me. But I did think they're the dominant team. I think they're a lot better team. We've been on that fade, the Marlins, over here at Who-Bangin. Not only here at Who-Bangin, that's for sure, but it's something that a team that we're going to keep fading until they show what's different. Just a tough start for them, with their starting pitching just getting decimated, kind of like the Tigers did last year. So that's what we did with that game. We took Oakland minus 135. The last game I took was this Baltimore Orioles that I was getting a little confused with. I did take the Baltimore Orioles game against Cincinnati. Abbott against Means. Means is finally going to pitch. John Means is a guy that we've all been anticipating, waiting for him to come back and pitch. He was a lot of anticipation when he came up in the league, and then getting hurt, and really this year spring training not having a good one. 18 earned he's given up in 18 innings. He has a little bit under a 9 ERA. Not the best form coming into his first start against a Cincinnati team that I'm not the biggest Cincinnati Reds fan like some people are, but they do hit, and that they are a good solid team. They can get to Means. I don't, there's no doubt to me that they can get to Means. And that Great American Ballpark, you never know. Ball starts flying out of there sometimes, and it can be. I'll try to check the weather here on that. I forgot to do that in the captain to check the weather at that stadium. But anyhow, getting back to this game, while I'm looking that up, Abbott's pitching for Cincinnati is not, he started out okay. Now he's been, the old regression lately. Last outing, 4 earned, 2 homers against that Texas team that doesn't really hit righties that well, and I'm sorry, hit lefties that well. Texas hasn't hit well that great at all. They started off slow, which is sometimes what we see with these teams that win the World Series out of nowhere, like last year, right? So Texas really, but I don't worry, Texas will be fine in the long run, I believe. But Cincinnati, like I said, Abbott has not pitched well. We got Means, his first start, in a hitter-friendly ballpark. We got the O's versus lefties, number 1 in ISO, number 2 in team OPS. Cincinnati Reds are the highest, have one of the highest, I don't think it is the highest, but one of the top 3, I believe, in walk rates versus lefties. So that's something to consider. And I went with the over 9, minus 106. I'm surprised the under is juiced. Let's start with that. Let's see what that weather is. They got the weather pointing to left field, coming across, almost pointing into that left field foul pole. So not really wind conducive for balls flying out, but only 5.8 mile an hour wind. So that really doesn't really make a difference. I've talked about it before. When it comes to weather, if it's not 15 miles an hour or more, I don't really care about the weather and the wind directions and stuff like that. But I figured I'd check it there just because it's Great American Ballpark. But conversely, that's what I took. I took the over 9 in the Oakland-Cincinnati game. Just speaking about weather quick, Oakland, there is a chance of rain out in Oakland. 85% humidity, so the ball might be flying. The wind is 13 miles an hour, but straight out in between right and center. So we could see some runs in that game if you're considering maybe playing a total in that game. Yankee Stadium weather, in case anyone is interested. Again, wind 10 miles an hour, but blowing across the field into the left field stands almost. It almost seems like it's blowing straight across right into past the foul pole. The Yankees haven't been hitting. That's a game I mentioned because I was thinking about hitting the under in that game, but it dropped it opened up at 8, dropped to 7.5, so I left it alone. So that was a lean of mine that I was thinking about. Let's see what else. Chicago, Milwaukee. That's another game that could really go under the weather. Wrigley Field. That's one place where the wind does have an effect, even at 10 miles an hour. But again, that wind, a lot of wind seemed to be blowing in that same direction today, across the field, into the left field, into the third base side, into those stands there. So that seems to be same at Nationals Park, wind blowing that direction. I guess maybe up Philadelphia. So I guess maybe up in the northeast in this section of the country, winds are just blowing that way in the stadium. It's not that they're all situated at the same spot, but it's kind of weird. Anyway, I regress in my talking about some weather there. But anyhow, that was my four. That's all my 4 picks today. Cardinals first 5 under 4.5 minus 118. Full game under 8.5 minus 115. Oakland minus 132. And Cincinnati over 9 minus 106. So that's my picks for today. This is DommyGun Ricci. Have a good day. Hope you guys enjoy the day. Hope we get a couple winners in baseball. Hopefully you guys have some luck in your horse racing picks for the Kentucky Derby. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. with another Light It Up. So until then, Who-Bangin Sports, DommyGun. See you tomorrow.